is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Oh, look who we have.
It's a beautiful day. Got our man, Jim from Minneapolis. We gonna take it by storm?
Taking it by storm, baby.
I love that. That's a great saying, man. Hey, what's happening, brother?
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing today?
Good, man. Yourself?
Oh, man. It's been the most incredible couple of days since when I called in on Friday, Litecoin busted out of that consolidation on the 2-hour chart.
Okay.
And it just never looked back. It did a 100-point ABC up, and now it's very extended the way I look at it. But holy, I mean, it went up to $420 last night.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's not Tom O'Brien, it's Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN headquarters in St. Petersburg, Florida. Tom is traveling today. He will be back on Monday, and I'm fortunate enough to be joined by our man, David White. David, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tommy.
Happy Friday, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, man, am I ready. We are live from St. Petersburg, folks. It's been an amazing week. Thanks to the whole crew here, everybody getting set up. But, man, Dave, we had quite a weekend for ourselves last weekend getting that studio moved over, so I am ready for a little relaxation this week for sure.
I thought of you as it started to rain about every 30 minutes.
You know, thankfully, the rain was not a factor, thank goodness. When we drove over with the trucks, with all our equipment, we had a little rain, but thankfully we got unloaded. No rain came into the situation because that would have made things a little bit more complicated for sure.
Well, your digs are pretty good down there. You're not very far from one of my favorite places, which is the Dolly Museum.
Oh, beautiful. You know, it's funny you say that. I'm trying to just find stuff to do this weekend. They got a beautiful brunch, mimosas, and what do they call it? Mimosas and something on Sunday. And I was thinking about even checking that out this weekend. I've been there once before. It's a beautiful museum, of course, Salvador Dali, yeah.
Yeah. Did you take the guided tour?
I did not. I just kind of wandered.
You got to take the guided guided tour, because they're going to tell you a lot of things in there that you're going to find very, very interesting.
Nice.
But one of the most weird things in there, of course, is the hologram. Did you see that?
Which one is that? I was there a couple of years ago. I went through most of it, but what's the hologram of?
Oh, boy. What's the guy's name? He always ran around with a snake in the 70s.
I don't know. Yeah. Well,
I'm going to think about it now, but it was the first hologram.
Okay.
It was just a couple of years before Star Wars.
Okay.
And, you know, the part where Leia pops out of R2-D2 and says, you know, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I need your help.
I know the one you're talking.
That was part of that. I mean, that was kind of the result of it. But I'm going to say 1973.
The early age of technology, man, right?
I know the song the guy they sang, which was "Smoking in the Boys' Room."
Okay.
It's a really bad song. I can't remember. Someone will say Alice Cooper. There we go.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you remember that, but there was the first moving hologram with Alice Cooper in there, and I saw that and I thought I think I saw that in the late 90s down there.
No, so cool. Downtown St. Pete, man. You got to come visit us at our new studio. It's just a beautiful area, like you said. Tons of stuff to do. They have, I went to one of those Rowdies games they have over here a few weeks ago. Just beautiful stadium, right practically on the water. I'm not a huge soccer fan myself, but anytime you can be outside by the water, beautiful. It's a cool deal.
Anyway,
lots
of interesting stuff going on. Samsung showed off their first unbreakable screen.
Okay.
And in fact, I'll pop it into the den here, but I gave it to Alan, so maybe he'll be able to put it into the feed too. But it shows them Samsung actually pounding with a hammer on these screens, and we knew the flexible screens were coming.
Yes.
What we didn't have was a something to put on the front of it that didn't shatter, some kind of plastic cover that didn't scratch. And allowed 80% of all phones right now aren't just discarded because they don't work anymore. They are thrown away because they busted the screen. So almost all of them being replaced have to do with the fact that they've been damaged in some way. So this may be the single biggest feature that a phone could have, and that is that you can drop it. Now, it's UL approved, which means they had to drop it from 6 feet 6 times.
Okay.
And not see anything break on it. And apparently it's passed all those tests. But, when we look at Apple becoming $1 trillion a year company, a lot of those phones are probably because people broke the ones they had.
Yeah, and then how does that, talk about a nothing factor compared to Apple, but I was just in my own head, like the case market in terms of, I have a case almost for the sole reason that I don't want to shatter my screen, right?
Yep.
Because it's funny, towards the tail end of some of my iPhones, when I kind of am already up on my plan, right, I'm already ready to buy a new one, I've actually taken the case off because it's really kind of enjoyable. They design such nice phones. If you don't have to put the case on it, it's pretty enjoyable to have that less feature going on, and maybe that'll be obviously if the screens aren't going to break, man, pretty cool. Yeah,
I was wondering how this is going to affect 2 companies. Part of that is the case makers, that's ZAGG.
Okay.
ZAGG. I got the chart up right now. Someone was talking about it in the den this morning. This actually doesn't look too bad. The chart actually looks fairly good. Gapped up back on the 9th of May, did so with almost 3 million shares, came in, tested it with 1.3 million shares. Now it's back up. This is probably going to take a little while, but I do know that Apple has put on 100,000 people for some kind of production in September. So I'm wondering if this isn't, them putting this part into their own product. Maybe Samsung will do. I'm sure Samsung will at least have it in their product at the same time. But the question is, you start seeing this stuff out in the wild, it's probably coming fairly quickly.
Sure.
As a feature, waterproofing and being able to drop the thing without killing it are probably the 2 big ones, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I would just as a consumer, right? That's talk about a revolution in terms of, we all know, whether it's yourself or your friends or your family, when they have that shattered screen, they're just so expensive. Sometimes you just ride it out until you buy your next phone, whatever it is. But yeah, that's something that affects all of us. And I could see how that could be a technology that could be one of the driving factors, because it's almost like I can almost do anything I can envision right now on my phone. I know they're going to start tying into whether it's augmented reality and so forth. But the screen seems like something, whether it's foldable screens, right, non-breakable, curvable, whatever they try to do, that seems like that might be something they could play with creativity-wise as well.
Yep, and of course, the other company that would probably be hurt by this is Corning, who makes all the Gorilla Glass.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're supplying $1 trillion company with Gorilla Glass for their screen, what does that do to you if everybody starts using plastic and these unbreakable screens?
It's a dicey business when you control basically the whole aspect of what Apple does, and they might change that dynamic going forward.
Yeah, Corning, 80% of what they do, the profits come from Gorilla Glass.
Man, that's amazing. All right, folks, come on back. We got the Dow up 118 points at 25,444. Dave and I are going to be right back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Until recently, it was almost impossible for the average investor to hedge against currency risk in Europe or Japan. For a bold trade on Europe or Japan that protects against moves in currency, trade HEGE or HEGJ, 2 times currency hedged leveraged ETFs from Direction Investments. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Tom takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Tommy O'Brien with Dave White. We get the Dow at session highs. Futures contract trading at 25,422. S&P's at session highs as well. Futures trading 28.39. So what's up next, Dave? Where would you like to jump to?
Well, we saw Facebook have its time in the sun in Washington, D.C.
Oh, we sure did.
And Twitter looks like it's going to be next. They're going to either be dragged in late in August or in the second week of September.
Okay.
They've been less than kind to a handful of congressmen and senators, and I think they're going to have to pay for it now.
The power they wield, for sure. The conversation has been, how are they sneaking under the radar with all the heat that Facebook has taken, right?
Well, there is part of it, but when you can literally go to the search bar and search for the congressman and not find his Twitter account.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy to figure out. And
they wield a lot of power. Listen, I think there should be a lot more digging into what's going on there in terms of you just see. I mean, the data that these companies control and the power they have behind it is pretty substantial, as we all seen, I think.
Yeah, it seems like there's a little bipartisan, if you can even find that.
Did you get that one out barely, right?
Yeah, there's maybe a little bit of that in going on, but they're really going to start bringing in, at least from the Twitter folks, they're going after people that actually know things.
Okay.
And not just an easy target to beat up on for a while. Who'll say, I don't know much about that, or,
And do you just mean like high-level executives within the company?
No, I know. I mean, people that are actually engineers.
Okay.
And people that wrote the software.
Okay.
They're going to go through and dig through the algorithm and ask for the algorithms and why, people like congressmen you can't find on their system.
That'll be interesting in terms of how that battle plays out, right? Because that algorithm is like almost their entire business in terms of when you start putting those together, it really is their business when those algorithms kind of
Well, here's the way I look at it. Either the people have to fess up and say they did it on purpose.
Sure.
Or they have to show how they wrote this thing and how it just acted inappropriately.
They need to be able to explain why it's happening in some capacity, right?
There's already lots of videos where people have gone undercover.
Okay.
And these guys have already spilled the beans how they do it.
Yeah.
So it's not a big mystery. Maybe they'll try to buffalo these people like Mr. Facebook did last time, because man, there are a lot of people that tore apart what he did and said that, if they really wanted to, they could go Martha Stewart on him and say that he lied in front of Congress. And it's pretty close.
Now, so talking about that, because obviously everything was a rosy picture practically when he was there, and then when they come out. So are you talking about in terms of guidance, in terms of what was going on, or just the real actions that Facebook was taking at that time in terms of
the real actions?
The real actions, okay.
What he actually said.
Okay.
They were doing a lot of other things, and it was starting to come apart, and it looks like apparently at earnings they had a kind of a come to God moment.
Yeah.
They decided, okay, we're going to go ahead and try to start cleaning this stuff up, and we'll take the lumps.
Yes.
And it's going to take a year. They didn't say it could do earlier. In fact, I talked with Tom last week about why the algorithms that they use are so poor. And I don't know if you heard it.
I heard a lot of what you guys were talking about. I don't know if I heard that segment, though.
Okay. Well, I'll go back through it then, because I know some people
definitely
didn't hear. Maybe I can explain it a little better. But I gave him an example, and that is I'm going to set up my friend with a woman that I know that could either be a librarian or a nurse.
Okay.
And personality-wise, she's kind of shy and introverted and wears glasses. And the question is, who do you think it's more likely, the nurse or the librarian?
So normal consensus, right, in terms of stereotypes would say the librarian.
Right. Now, the only problem is that there are 20 times more nurses than there are librarians, maybe even more.
Okay.
But in the average city, and probably now.
Sure. Are there libraries still? No, I joke, but exactly. Right? It's like for sure.
I think there's something like 20 in the average town. There's 20 nurses for every single librarian.
And I joke, there should be libraries, folks. Every town, city needs a good library, for sure, for your kids, for education, everything. But go ahead, for sure.
But anyway, that is the way to think Bayesianly, right? Bayesian statistics. That just because something is so rare, we have kind of a stereotype that would say, hey, it's got to be the librarian. But guess what? It's so rare that it probably isn't the library.
Okay.
And many times in medicine, and especially in drugs, they'll come out and you'll say, okay, I've got a test, and this test is 90% accurate. But you find out that only 1 in 10,000 people have it. So even though you only have, it's 90% accurate, so few people have it, what you're going to find out is that, especially in cancer, this is a big problem, and why they always have you come back in if you do have cancer, right? If it shows nothing, then you go away.
Sure.
Because the odds are pretty low that you have it. If they get it positive, they want to do more tests.
Yeah, it's a retest at least. Yeah.
Right. Because guess what? Even though they're highly good tests, the chances of you actually having it are so small that you probably don't have it. And a lot of people, if they just told people that came in for tests for cancer, half the people would be told that they have cancer.
Yeah, no, I know false positives. They are, and for whatever reason, right.
Right. And then they sulk all weekend, and then a week later they'd find out that they didn't have it.
Right. No, and it's the mental dynamic. Yeah.
Well, anyway, my point was that Twitter and Facebook use these algorithms based on Bayesian thinking.
Okay.
And it comes from just about everything that it's easy to fool these patterns by doing the thing that isn't done very much.
Okay.
Because it's swamped out by the rest of them. And the whole Bayesian idea of statistics means that if you're looking for spam, if you're looking for trying to find outliers that would tell you that these folks aren't real, becomes incredibly problematic because the people that are phoning this stuff up know it too, and they know how to fool Bayesian statistics. It's actually called Bayesian poisoning. There's actually a thing, and it's been around for a long time, about how that is done. And the thought has always been that new machine learning techniques will be so much better than Bayesian techniques that we'll be able to find out. Now, All those things, one, take money. The highest paid position that you can get out of school right now, if you got a PhD in machine learning, you're going to make $500,000 a year. Right out of school.
And I believe it. That's where things are going, right?
Right. So if you're Facebook or Twitter or any of the rest of these guys, you can hire anybody and put together a Bayesian statistical model, and it runs extremely quickly. It doesn't take a lot of processing power to do it. Machine learning, just the opposite. It takes a lot. So as these guys are going to be going across the next year trying to clean this stuff up, at least Facebook says it is.
It's going to be wild if they start trying to really get into those algorithms because, man, they're going to fight kicking and screaming to guard those things with their lives, right?
That is going to be a problem.
All right, folks, 3:30, half hour left in the market. Dave and I are coming right back. Come on back.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tommy O'Brien, we got the Dow up 122 points currently. S&P is positive about 10. And Dave, just before we get right back into it, I'm going to give a quick plug. I was with Jason Paff this morning for the program. And folks, Jason kicking off the programming starting Monday, the morning market kickoff. He'll be live 8:30 a.m. Monday morning. Jason's got a lot of great information. Check that out live on Tiger TV at TFNN.com. Or, of course, you can pull up our YouTube page, live programming, 8:30 a.m. this coming Monday. So, I see you've got a hackadoodle-doo in Las Vegas, of all places, happening, seems like right now. When's that, tomorrow?
It starts this weekend, yeah. And this is, of course, when you have back-to-back the conferences, the Black Hat Conference and then DEF CON. And this is when all the hackers in the world flood into Las Vegas, into Mandalay Bay, and every ATM has to be pulled from the premise.
Oh, man.
Anybody's phone that isn't a burner phone, you might as well kiss it goodbye.
Too funny.
Yeah, it's they're all there. The Black Hat starts, like you said, now, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the DEF CON guys. The Black Hat guys are a great deal of people teaching other people how to both be offensive and defensive in hacking. But don't be surprised. They're going to be one of the big things is going to be these guys have gotten their hands on a lot of the voting machines.
Okay.
And they're going to be showing how you hack voting machines.
Boy, I hope they do, because that's one thing I feel like, that just is, I mean, come on, right? It's like if anything is plugged into the internet, man, it's just so vulnerable, period. So I hope that gets brought to the light if it's possible, which you keep reading the articles that it is. That's crazy. So they actually, do they really, like the ATM? What happens? Should you really guard yourself in terms of mobile? Now I know you love your guarding yourself on that, getting hacked, but I guess you got the epicenter of anybody that knows how to do anything out there. That's a real concern during this next week.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in there with anything other than cash and a ballpoint pen.
Too funny. I didn't even consider that as I started reading this, but of course it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I spent about 8 weeks a year in Las Vegas. All the years I worked in doing my stuff, about 15 years. And we do our own convention, but they always seem to be one right around this time for them, for broadcasters. And I'd have to be in there the week before, the week after the tear down, the booth got tore down. We had, 20 people coming in from different places around the world. So there was a lot of stuff, and I ended up coordinating a lot of the stuff and making sure the booth got set up and dealing with the unions and everything. So I'd be there a long, like I said, 8 weeks a year is pretty.
It's a long time, man, to be in Las Vegas working at that time, right? Yeah.
And it was either when we started off, it was Bally's, and then later on Mandalay Bay. But I'd go over there because at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, the unions are done. There's nothing else you can do but go play. So I would go over there, and it was quite interesting back even in the late 90s and early 2000s. So, but almost always they'll have, it's like most conventions, they'll have 4 or 5 major presentations a day. And we've, in the past, they've shown how to unlock all BMWs.
Yeah, no, I listened to your segment with Tom, and I know you guys have talked about internet security in general, along with a variety of things, just because it's such a big, sector right now. And I know Tom had referenced it in our last building. There was a company that was just coming in there like, gangbusters, Dave, because they're just hiring so many people. It's a company called KnowBe4, and I think they're up to 300, 400 people, and they are straight out, in terms of security for your companies, for what it is. And it's interesting that now, of course, I'm sure, I wonder what that conference was like in the 90s versus, just simple security and learning the ways of the internet versus now. It's something so legitimate that they're talking about hacking elections.
Well, no, they've always been doing that.
Have they? Yeah,
they've shown how they can do everything. There is a great documentary about it called DEF CON something or other.
Okay.
Where you can dig it up and see what these guys do. But literally anything that can be hacked, they'll bring up, and there'll be a presentation. And they, just like any other kind of thing, they have a call for papers. And you send your paper in, and if they may invite you to speak and show how everything's done.
It makes sense, right? If you discover somebody that has that idea, man, bring it to the forefront. Yeah.
Right, but we've seen everything from Target get outed at these things. The Christmas issue with Target several years ago, where they got in a lot of problems because they continued to use the card readers that they knew that had been penetrated. One of the people in these organizations called up a guy that writes cribs on security. Is a big deal in this, but they called him up, told him exactly how to do it, and of course, the CEO was out a few weeks later. So there are a lot of people that know how to do a lot of these things. They're not necessarily doing it for evil themselves.
No, right. And hopefully they just bring it to the forefront. I say that, you saw that credit reporting agency. I can't believe it's blank in my mind. What was the one that got hacked? And then those guys, the insider trading, Dave, right? I mean, geez, I can't believe it. It's the main.
I think I got it here.
It's the main credit card reporting agency, your credit reporting agency. But my point being is that they basically left themselves wide open to pretty known patches that they just weren't doing due diligence. So it's just so horrendous, and that's why, I mean, this is actually a good deal where you bring to the forefront when people aren't doing their due diligence, when they have data on, now we're talking about hundreds of millions of people, as the digital fingerprint just keeps growing.
Well, even LifeLock got hacked last week.
Okay, and I'll get it, man. I can't credit.
And they're supposed.
Equifax, thank you, Z. Equifax, and then they even had some of the financial officers were selling shares a week ahead of the news breaking. Just complete. I mean, just pretty abysmal. And it's one thing, as in technology is always going to be a battle, right? As in, you're always going to have the guys that are trying to guard the companies and guard the information, and people that are trying to figure out ways, whether it's nefarious or not, just trying to get in past those walls. And the real thing that stood out on that Equifax deal was how Equifax almost could have cared less in their due diligence for a company that had so much data. So what is a company so much smaller doing that might have tens of millions of customers, as opposed to basically Equifax that has every single person in the country, if not, I'm sure they span internationally.
Well, the problem is that legally there isn't a lot you can do to sue those folks right now, and the Congress never passed laws that made them culpable and not taking care of it. I think that probably will change in the near future.
I would say so. I'm sitting here nodding my head, being like, I would imagine,
it came up just a year and a half ago, and they passed on it again. So it's not something that is on the forefront.
Because
I did want to get this one in, though.
Sure. Yes, go for it. Surface Go.
Right. Microsoft has their new Surface laptop out. This is kind of a lower, less expensive one. Starts off at $499. The cover is $100. So the base unit, I think, is actually $400, but probably not worth buying that one. The $499 is the one to get. So you've got about $600 in it. But I went and played with it at Best Buy last night. Pretty cool.
Nice.
It's a smaller version. It's not the 13th inch of the Surface Pro. It's the 10-inch version. So if you're looking for a very inexpensive one, I played with it last night. Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, man. Microsoft, they really have quite a business plan together between their cloud services and their computers that they're putting out, man. They are, I might get one myself. Come on back, folks. We'll be right back.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
My dad, may rest in peace, always had great advice, such as, if you want more, you have to become more. It's been a guiding light that has driven me to always be the best that I can be. When it came to trading and investing, I wanted more, and so I developed a set of disciplined tools that led me to become the #1 market timer for the S&P 500, according to Timer Digest. Dad went on to say, if you want more, you have to give more, which is why I took those same disciplined tools and created a black box that could look at any instrument for any time frame and tell subscribers and I whether it was bullish, bearish, where support or resistance was, and whether an instrument was forming a top or a bottom. The scans from my black box are now a part of the Mastering Probability service, which allows me to give more to subscribers. This coming Tuesday, August 7th, from 5 to 6 p.m., I'm holding an open house at TFNN.com, and I'd like to invite you to see the power of my black box. When it comes to trading and investing, I know I can help you become more too. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com to sign up today.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Tom takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. We got the Dow up 120, S&P's up 11, NASDAQ up 5. I'm joined by Dave White today, and a quick plug. Most of what we're talking about, folks, Dave does a couple great newsletters. Technology Insider, his investment newsletter, comes out with a new issue every Friday. That just went out. Dave, nice work on that. I read that before I came on the air, getting a little up to speed with what we were talking about this week. And, of course, The Path of Least Resistance, which you can get to right under newsletters, trading newsletters, and that is his daily service. Both, I encourage you to check them out. Great work. And as I said, both of them new issues today, daily and weekly. All right, where are we jumping to next, Dave?
NVIDIA rumors swirled about their next big product. And, of course, for the most part, these guys are video display card manufacturers. They build some other chips. And, yeah, they're going to be getting into machine learning for autonomous driving and all that. But 95% of what they do is make money hand over fist in video cards. There have been a lot of leaks on those particular cards over the last couple of days. And it looks like we're going to see their next version of their cards come out on August 20th. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost a perfect world for these guys because there's only a couple of companies that have been able to keep 60% or better margins over more than 3 years in a row. One of them is Intel. The other one is Apple. So
it's quite a number, man, in terms of taking in $1 and keeping 60 cents of it, seriously.
Or more.
Right.
And NVIDIA, you can look at a great deal. They have video cards that go up to $10,000. And they're selling a lot of them for machine learning these days. Anyway, the next rev of these things are coming. Earnings on the 16th. But it looks to me like they've got a big shindig. They're calling in all the press for August 20th. So that's probably the date we're going to see the next video card come out. They purposefully extended this. They were going to probably have this new card come out at the very beginning of the summer. But I don't know what went on. A few things.
A few hiccups somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think that there were a few things. I think one of the companies that they provide with chips went out of business, ended up with a lot of them back. So they needed another couple of months to get rid of all those chips from the last version. I'm already seeing.
I was just going to joke. Got to keep those profit margins high by selling the inventory you already have, right?
Sell what you got.
That's right.
Thing. Anyway, the next one right now, their flagship's called a 1080, and it looks like it's going to be 1180 or 2280 or something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, pictures abound on the internet already of the printed circuit board minus the parts, so we can get a fairly decent idea what these guys are going to be making. The specs a little bit tougher to get to. But anyway, they're almost all the earnings in the semiconductor space kind of over. There's not a lot to look forward to. This is kind of like the last big hurrah for earnings seasons for semiconductors. But of course, they have been, if you're talking about the last 3 years, they've been the giant mover.
Oh,
Wow.
I just had their chart up playing with it, Dave, on a 3-year weekly, and I mean it's pretty insane to use the word lightly, from $20 up to 270 almost. Yeah.
And the stock at 20 looked horrible.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
I remember looking at it. I'm going, okay, what's going on? I missed it. I didn't short it, thank God.
Yes.
But it looked rather horrible. Now it's pretty happy around 250.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to. I mean, you're too close to earnings now. I don't think a lot of people are going to go bailing on it. You'd have to have probably something giant happen in the market to go against it.
Sure.
But again, not a lot going to change. They own the machine learning part of the business. AMD kind of owns the Bitcoin mining part of the business, and AMD's got a lot of push, but it looks to me I'd much rather be in the machine learning business than in the Bitcoin mining business. That seemed to probably be a little problematic.
I chuckle in agreement. I agree. As in, machine learning, I mean, it's the Terminator is coming, and the future is almost here for sure. And cryptos, I imagine, will be around, but I mean, computers are taking over the world, man, and there's no denying that for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, prices are starting to fall, but the new product comes out. I guess it's going to be shown the 20th, and you're probably going to find it available in September. I would assume. It doesn't take that long for these guys to get going.
Nice.
So I don't know what else to say. The stock's not doing a whole lot, but when we look at the SMHs, there isn't. I mean, these guys are the last real hurrah, and then you're going to have about 2 months before you get back into any earnings of note in those SMHs. So we're getting to the point where there isn't anything that really can move the market anymore in earnings. This was one. I kept on looking and going through week after week. Is there anything going to move markets? And this one could, the SMHs. But other than that, just not a whole lot else happened.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I mean, we've been spoiled recently with the amount of data we're getting, man. Whether it's earnings, whether it's FOMC, Apple becoming $1 trillion company, Tesla rocking and rolling this week. There's been a lot going on, man.
Yeah, Apple was caught behaving badly this week. They got nabbed for $145 million in damages for stealing some Wi-Fi stuff. And it wasn't just like they kind of appropriated it or kind of did the same thing. The judge was pretty violent about the way Apple just literally ignored the patents for this company out there. $145 million is not a big deal, but Apple itself goes around pretty wildly enforcing their own patents too. And let me get back here. But when we look at what's going on in Apple, the question is, for me, especially with the Samsung thing I'm talking about,
yes.
Is there going to be Samsung going to come out with that before they do? Could that put a hurt in the fall selling? What is going on with these guys getting back into building products in September? And, of course, their ongoing war with Qualcomm. So Apple is not one of these companies that doesn't have any weaknesses at all. They actually have several weaknesses. And those, I know that they've set a course of having a huge amount of their own development and own manufacturing in the future. But for a couple of years, I still don't think that these guys are or can be bulletproof. There are a few things out there that, especially like I think those screens, even on the iPads, they're getting rid of the earphone jack. And I know you've got a iPhone.
I do, and mine still has. Does it have an earphone jack? Let me see. Let me take my phone. I got it right here. I gotta think. No, I do not have an earphone jack anymore. Yeah, but see how funny that is, Dave? I had to literally pull it out of my back pocket because I'm so used to it. I said, wait, maybe I do, but I don't. And when I first got the phone, it threw me a couple times. I think I went on a plane flight one time, and I just brought regular earphones and I couldn't plug in. I said, I got to get used to this, but that's where the future's going, I guess.
So you didn't buy the earbuds?
No, I did buy those as well. You get a pair of earphones that go with them, and then you get a connector. But it was just how I didn't put it together in my mind correctly. I can't remember. You know, I didn't have the right earphones with the right phone or my iPad maybe I wanted to use. I think that's what I did. I had the earphones just for my phone, but guess what? I wanted to use my iPad, which had the regular earphone socket. So you gotta get used to it.
Yeah, new iPad. No more.
New iPad. That's the solution.
Larry
we'll be right back,
Pesavento
folks.
has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Tommy O'Brien with Dave White. We got markets just kind of hanging out in this final couple hours of the trading week. Dow up about 120 points. S&P's up 11. NASDAQ positive by 5 as we come into the close. So what else, Dave? Anything else you're looking at? I mean, we had Apple. We had Tesla this week. How about Tesla, right? I mean, we talked so much about them. Quite a run, man, off that earnings number.
Yeah, I just know I've seen this rodeo before.
I always like your input because I like your healthy criticism of the share price sometimes, man, and quite a rocket ship.
It's a $40 stock, and the problem is that everybody wants it to be something it isn't. They need to spend another $15 to $18 billion in the next 2 years to build out just to make 8% margins. And the question is, do you believe if you think that the prices are correct, you have to believe that they'll be able to carry 25% margins, which I think are pie in the sky.
For the auto industry, doesn't have margins in that range, right? I mean, I'm not an analyst in the auto industry, but I believe those would be pretty unforeseen margins in the auto industry. Dave there? Maybe we lost him? Maybe. Okay. That's it. The Tesla gremlins might have gotten him as he started talking about $40 a share Tesla. But nonetheless, this week, maybe he'll jump back. But $286 on Monday, folks, Tesla. $355 today. You're talking about $70, which is about a 25% increase. 714, yeah, but 25% increase from lows to highs from Monday to Friday. Quite a number on those Tesla numbers that they, of course, came up with after the close on Wednesday and finishing near highs. We'll jump around to some of the other high flyers today. Maybe we'll get Dave back here. I always appreciate him joining me for this hour. Apple, why not? We'll wrap it up. 207.57. And looks like it's going to be up 18 cents as we come into the close. So another record close for Apple and another record price intraday, 208.74. Folks, thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. And don't forget, Monday, 8:30 in the morning, Jason Paff, the morning market kickoff. He'll be here live with his new program. Have a great weekend, safe weekend. We'll see you back here Monday morning live at 8:30 in the morning. Have a great one, folks.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.